Welcome or welcome back to iGaming for some more on The Signal. Now you may remember this one, we did cover it a few weeks back, but we didn't have too much news back then. We've got a lot more news now, and there is currently a playtest up and running on Steam. So if you do want to check it out yourself, head over to the Steam page and apply for the playtest. It is currently running for another week and a bit, so it ends on, I believe, the 6th of June. They did start it on Thursday the 23rd and said it'd be running for around about 2 weeks. So you've still got over a week and a half to get on it and get to grips with it. Now all you have to do that is head over to the Steam page and then click this button here to request access. Doesn't take long to get the access back. It took me a couple of hours and then I was in after a very short download. Now, if you are a fan of survival games like this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and stick around for much more survival titles. If you're a fan of Bethesda titles such as Starfield, Fallout, check out our second channel. The link is in the link tree in the description down below. Now, The Signal has you venturing into uncharted territory on a planet filled with wonder and peril, where you'll explore, survive, and expand your knowledge by using your creativity to craft infrastructure, equipment, and vehicles of your own designs. Now, that is something that really caught my eye with The Signal. The ability to craft things from your own design, similar to crafting buggies on. Do you remember there's an old mobile game where you have to go up like massive hills and you craft a space buggy that can take on a course? It looks like that, but much more detailed. Now, the crafting is actually something that I am not really too confident with. I have struggled a lot so far with the crafting. It is quite complex, but I think with time and maybe a little bit of tweaking from community feedback, it may become a lot easier. Now, in my playtest, I've got about 2 hours in there so far. I'm going to do a lot more. I'm going on holiday in a couple of days, so I'm a little bit strapped for time at the moment. But in the time that I have played, I've really enjoyed the overall atmosphere and feel of The Signal. Now, something that I really found interesting was your footprint. So basically, you have an environmental footprint on the planet. If you start to trash everything for resources, do damage to certain things around you, the planet does start to react to that, especially the wildlife on the planet, which I really loved, and it's something that I've not really seen before. There may be games out there that do that, but I've never really seen anything like it. So quite interesting to see how they're going to develop that and how they're going to work around with it. Now, when it came to graphics and performance, this is an early playtest, so I was expecting bugs, glitches, performance problems, but no. Surprisingly, the performance was absolutely outstanding, had no issues whatsoever, PC wasn't screaming its tits off, and it looked beautiful. Everything around you looked cool, it looks vibrant, and at night time it looked creepy. Everything that you want from that type of survival game. Everything looks alien, it looks different. It looks like you wouldn't see it anywhere on Earth. And I love the vibe that they've gone with. I think it goes really well with the sort of crafting system and the base building that we're going to be doing on this. Now, like I mentioned, when it comes to the crafting and the base building, I haven't got too far in, so I haven't got too much to grips with it. But definitely, the first few parts of crafting, I was very confused, and I still am a little bit confused on how it all works. Now, I don't know if they're going to be doing things to make that a little bit simpler as they progress forward, or whether it's going to stay like that, but with an option to have sort of a much more detailed walkthrough at the beginning. I did find some of the options there were quite helpful, but when I got into some of the design menus, I was just getting a little bit confused. Maybe that's because it is a playtest and I haven't got enough of the items that I need for certain bits and bobs, or I wasn't reading things correctly. But from what I experienced, I did find it a little bit confusing, and it took me quite a while just to do the simple thing like placing the electricity mast thing. But once I got that down and carried on exploring, I was having loads of fun. There's all sorts of weird creatures, and I love the sort of guides that you have where you have to go out and collect everything. You've got the question marks up when you use your scanner, so you know you've got different resources that you've not found in different areas. Each area has a sort of certain amount of plants, certain amount of animals, which you have to go out, get an inventory of them, and that way you can unlock certain new crafting items when you've actually gathered the materials to create the crafting items. So you do truly start with nothing and have to work your way up by finding things in the environment and items around you that are going to help you build further, build higher, and then craft the structures and the vehicles that we've seen in the trailers. Now, it is early playtest, so I wasn't expecting too much of this, but there is a storyline to the game. Now, they have done a little bit of the story in the playtest. Now, bearing in mind, it is a pre-alpha playtest, but still there's some cool stuff in there. Now, this is told through environmental storytelling, certain icons that you'd pick up, and you get a sort of diary so you can read through some bits, or you'll have a tape recording which will tell you what's been going on through previous explorers that have been to the planet that you're on, which I find really cool, especially this early on in the game's development. Now, I was honestly quite impressed with how far it's come for something that is pre-alpha. Now, I don't know if they did closed alpha tests beforehand, but going from what we saw in the trailer and then to being able to play it this soon, it seems like it's a lot further ahead than I originally thought it was. But back when I did that original video, there was no news of playtests or anything like that, and I assumed they were quite far back in the development process, but obviously not, and we could see this game release into early access sooner than anticipated. I was thinking it maybe come towards the end of the year, but hopefully it comes a little bit sooner than that. The release date on Steam still says to be announced, so we'll have to wait and see where they go with it. Obviously, I don't like it when they rush things and things are a problem, but for this early on and it being a pre-alpha playtest, I think it performs really well. There's a good chunk of content on there, and they're going to continue to develop it once it's released in early access anyway. But we'll have to wait and see what the team say about that one. As mentioned beforehand, these playtests are running all the way up until the first week of June, so I highly recommend getting in and checking out the Signal whilst you can, and it gives you a little bit of a taste of whether it's something you'd be willing to buy when it does release. And here, of course, we will keep you up to date with all of the news from the Signal, and we'll see how things progress. If we do get a release date, price, all of that cool stuff, we'll do another video on it. If you want to see some more, then let me know in the comments down below. I'll try and get a little bit more done before I go on holiday, see if we can get some buggies built and try and do some of the bridge building and stuff like that, if that is available in the alpha. But let me know what you think about the Signal down in the comments below. Now, I would like to do a much more detailed video on the Signal when I've got to grips with some more of the crafting systems. As I said, it confused me quite a bit, the overall crafting. I got a little bit stuck on crafting that first original pylon, and it was a bit of a pain in the butt, but I will get round to figuring it out. Hopefully, I can get some time in before I go away. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm going on holiday in a few days' time, taking the kids away. First time we've been away as a family, so I'm very excited for that. But also very stressful, lots of stuff to plan. The car has shat itself, so I've got to fix the car before we go away. It's all fun and games, but yeah, hopefully we can get it all sorted and get on track with the content for the Signal and get a little bit more time in before I go away so I can get to grips with that crafting system. I think it will be brilliant when I can figure it out. We'll just have to wait and see. For now, though, we are going to wrap that one up there. If you are a fan of the Signal and want some more news, make sure you subscribe to the channel and drop a like on the video. If you are a fan of Bethesda titles such as Starfield and Fallout, then check to the link tree in the description down below, as well as all of the Signal links as well. And that is where you'll find some more daily content. For now, though, I've been Wired. You've been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.